Okay, so in this video we're checking out the EMAX Scimitar props. There's 4 versions here, and depending upon your power setup, you probably want to go with a different one. But I'm just going to show you all these one by one. Basically, you have a 3-bladed version and you have a 4-bladed version with the same sort of profile here, blade profile. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but yeah. It's totally different from their previous generation prop. The polycarbonate seems to be the same. I think though that it is fairly stiff, but I think that in a crash it will bend and then it's going to leave a crease in the prop, so keep that in mind. But it does. I didn't feel like it would bend too much unless you're on a really high kV motor. You might get some cavitation or flutters. But it comes in 4 versions. So this one here is the it's written on the hub here. It's a 5 by 2.6 by 3. So you have a 2.6 pitch, a 2.8 pitch, and a 3 by 3.0 pitch. So this one here is a 3.0 pitch. So this basically increases in pitch. This is the least amount of pitch, second amount of pitch, and then the most pitch here, the 3-bladed 3.0 pitch, and then you have a 4-bladed 2.8 pitch here. So I tried these out on a few different types of motors. I think that the ones with the least amount of pitch, the 2.6 and the 2.8, you're going to be okay with some higher kV motors. So I flew these two guys on a 2207 2650 kV motor, and I think that with the minimal amount of pitch of the 2.6, you get more speed. But it's not quite as grippy as the 2.8 on that kV. But again, you're gonna on the higher pitch 2.8, you're gonna get a little more amp draw, a little bit less flight time. I felt like on the 2207 2650 kV motor, the 2.8 felt pretty good. I'm not sure what the 2.6 might be good for. Maybe a little bit more longer flight time, maybe possibly even a higher kV motor, because it is fairly shallow pitch compared to the other ones. But this one I didn't like. Out of the 4, this one I actually didn't like. I liked the least out of the 4. So this one I liked pretty good for the 2.8. I liked on the 2207 2650 kV motor, and then when I moved up to the 3.0 pitch, this one was way too amp heavy on the 2650 kV motor. I got a really short flight time, so I put this on instead a 2306 2450 kV motor, and that one had better flight time and still had really good grip, good flight performance. This one performed pretty good. I think this one here is going to be good for your lower kV, like 2400 to 2500 kV motors, 2207, 2306, something like that. I think this one would be fine for. However, when I moved up to the 4-bladed 2.8 pitch prop, on even on a low kV motor like a 2450 kV motor, this one did draw a lot of amps and really shortened the flight time a lot, but it was super grippy in the turns. Yeah, if you're looking for really good cornering, this one will do it, but it is really amp hungry. You're going to need a big battery like an 1800, 1550, 1500 is probably not enough on a 5-inch setup on 4S. So what I actually did is I tried this on 2207 1700 kV motor on 4S, and actually it performed pretty nicely on that. I think the 4-bladed prop gives you I guess kind of a similar performance to, say, like a higher kV motor on 3-bladed, for example, and not quite as grippy on the lower kV, but you get some of that flight time back because of the lower kV motor. So I actually liked the way this thing felt on the 2207 1700 kV. So obviously you can use different motor and kV setups and battery setups. I would recommend trying them out on different craft and seeing what you like and how it flies for you, because you're going to probably have to do some retuning and all that. But you know, all these props do seem to perform pretty similarly if you can find the right kV and motor setup for your particular drone. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'll just leave you with some flight footage on all these different props here, and you guys can probably, I don't know if you'll be able to tell much from the GoPro footage or not as to how it's performing, but you just go by what I said, and I think that should be a pretty good guide in terms of which sort of prop you should go for, but obviously you're going to need to try them out on your particular setup. You may like it or you may not like it. It really depends on your flying style and how aggressive you are on the throttle and your power setup and the weight of your drone. All those things are going to be factors. But overall, the prop is pretty decent. I think it's comparable to a lot of the other recent 5-inch props have come out, and I like the fact that they give you different options here, so you can sort of customize and find the right power setup for your particular flying style and the way you like to fly and the kind of equipment you have. So you have a lot of different options here. Anyway guys, here's some more flight footage, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.